Naked Rancher here for my Women Rancher series. Ann and Josie Bassett were educated sisters. They fought in the cattle wars and caroused with outlaws. They were born in the 1870s near Browns Park, Colorado. Around 1888, the Basset family moved to Utah, where their father Herb ran a successful cattle ranch that occupied parts of Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. It was through their cattle business that the Basset family first became acquainted with some of the most well-known outlaws in the territory, including Butch Cassidy. The outlaws that were passing through would buy beef and horses and trade goods with the Bassets. On the ranch, Herb taught his daughters from a young age how to rope cattle, ride horses, and handle a gun. However, he also sent Ann and Josie to a premier boarding school to get a formal education. By the mid-1890s, some large cattle barons wanted to buy the Bassett's ranch, but the Bassets turned down their offers, and the wealthy ranchers began to rustle cattle from their ranch. Ann and Josie retaliated by rustling cattle back from them. This would lead to a period of hostilities that lasted until about 1900. By the time the cattle feud began, both Ann and Josie had already had several romantic relationships with prominent outlaws, including Butch Cassidy. Cassidy at different times had courted both Bassett sisters, and both sisters enjoyed the company of all members of the Wild Bunch. Thus, they helped the sisters during the conflict. Ann and Josie were so involved with the Wild Bunch that they were two of only 5 women ever allowed into Robber's Roost, which was the gang's hideout in southeastern Utah. She continued to see Cassidy off and on for several years, while also continuing to entertain other outlaws. Ann married 2 times, maintaining a ranch in Utah, and passed away in 1956 at the age of 77. Josie Bassett was married 5 times with 4 divorces and 1 husband dying under murky circumstances. She built a rustic cabin on her Utah homestead where she remained until the end of her life. She lived off the land, making her own soap and clothing, helped out neighbors, supplying them with beef and other food. She lived life on her own terms, even making and selling bootleg liquor during Prohibition. Unfortunately, in 1945, she lost a majority of her property in a land scheme, but continued to live in her cabin up until the end of her life. She died in 1964 at the age of 90. Naked Rancher out.